Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, I should say, you can reply with other people's emotes or just say hi. Or you can just be a lurker, and that's okay. We've got Arctic Sloth here. We got Aristovan here. We got Lashbrook here. We got a great crew already. Already starting off strong. We are currently at 37 subscribers. John is here too. Hello, John. We're at 37 subscribers out of 40. Saying best crew. Hell yeah. And Ghost Valve's here too. Hell yeah. My goal is to hit 40. It's always hit 40 subscribers per month, so that's why I'm throwing those up there. If you would like to become a subscriber, you can do so now. It's September, the best month to subscribe because you save money. If you want to extend your subscription out a couple months, you could do that. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome, welcome. Now is a great time to become a subscriber or return to become a subscriber. You don't save any money by gifting subs, but if you wanted to join the gift sub leaderboard, like John is there, you could also gift the sub to somebody in the community. And again, you don't save any money, but you could just do it so that I don't have to talk about needing to get to 40 subscribers, which I will be talking about until we do it. This guy over here won't shut up about wanting to be at 40 subscribers so he can guarantee payment every month. Yeah, I know, right? What's up with that guy? Tonight's agenda. We're working on a great Lego set. We're going to be starting out the Lego Camper Van. This is a pre-owned kit that was purchased by my friend Adam, who was like, hey, I don't want this kit anymore. I'll break it apart and mail it to you. Getting paid in this economy? I know, right, Arctic Sloth? Yeah, who we kidding? But yeah, Adam was like, hey, do you want this? And I said, yes. And it was pre-assembled, which means that it's just a bunch of parts. So before I did anything with this kit, I knolled every fucking color and put them in their own Ziplocs. Hey, we got 2 gifted subs immediately to the community. Welcome Chudley61 and What the Farios. I'm going to hit the applause. Thank you, Anonymous, and we'll do it for the other one. So we are currently at 39 out of 40 subscribers. Thank you very much to the anonymous person that did that. You're not on the leaderboard, but we know you. We know what you did. We appreciate you. So let me just go and change that up. Yeah, so I had to null every goddamn part of this kit, which I did. I'm going to hit the dance button because Lord Crashington uses channel points for that. That electric drum is great. That electric cymbal, very good in that song. Anyway, so I had to null every fucking piece of this kit. And then what I've been doing is I'm taking out some parts from it. So the overhead, you'll see like some of them. Hey, Aristovan just gifted a sub to Makusan, I should say. Makusan, welcome. And also, that's the 102nd gift sub from Aristovan. So throw the emotes in the chat there as I hit the applause on that. Yes, and I'm getting paid, and also, yeah, Maku-san, welcome, and yeah, enjoy having some emotes and not seeing ads during the stream, and that is very fun. We are currently at 40 subscribers, so I will take these away, and we won't look at them again. Now, if you know me, you know that if you're doing the math, at a certain point, I'm going to drop below 40 again, and then that's going to come back up. Yes, Aristfan brings up a good point. It is Labor Day. Now, I'm working. I did not take today off because I am an independent contractor, and I am my own boss. And so, as the boss, I was like, I'd really like for you to come into work on Monday. And as the employee, I said, well, you did approve me switching Wednesdays to Tuesdays for my bonus stream, so we'll go with that. in case you weren't aware, for the month of September, I am experimenting with doing my bonus stream where I play video games or talk about anime solely or hang out, watch wrestling, whatever. My bonus stream where I'm not building is normally Wednesdays, but for the month of September, it'll be on Tuesday. Tomorrow, I will be checking out the video game I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. I always want to say Exorcist. That's not what this game is about. It is. I actually don't quite know what it's about. I know that it's about ecology, and it may or may not be an adventure game, and may or may not be like a graphic novel, dating sim, something. I don't know. But I got a code for it, so I'm saying that right now. If you do not like watching streamers who don't pay for their games, skip tomorrow's stream at 9 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday night. But if you are fine with watching somebody play a video game that they received a code for free, then tune in. I don't know. Finji produced it, so or published it. Excuse me. Finji published it, so I'm gonna check it out. I believe that is all the housekeeping. Now, is part of the reason why I'm doing Tuesday streams because I want to watch AEW Dynamite with friends and not miss the second hour and then come back to it later. That's part of it. Also, Wednesday nights have just been kind of dead around here, and I want to see if Tuesday night is a little better. We'll try it out. I am going to retweet my own tweet and see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight before we get into this Lego. I have knolled a bunch of these parts separately. If I catch up with all the parts that I've knolled, then I will just start building out of the bag. And then I will make sure to knoll even more for Thursday's build stream. And let's see. Is there anything else that I need to get into? Oh, we're going to talk about this thing. All right, let's go to the overhead here. As you can see, there's some pieces that I've knolled. We're starting at 0 here, so I will just start getting the pieces together. There exists the possibility, friends, that I have skipped a step somewhere in my pre-knolling process, and I will have to go and dig a piece out of the bag. That's totally plausible and probably probable. Now, I mentioned that I like watching AEW Dynamite, All Elite Wrestling's Wednesday program, their big show, their A show. And I usually watch the first hour and then stop, stream, and then go back and watch the second hour on the West Coast feed. And anything that happened that second hour has probably been spoiled for me by that point. So it's like, it's not as fun, and I'm not watching it with friends at that point. So I'm going to go back to that. Now, my original plan for tonight was we'll talk about their pay-per-view that happened last night. We'll do the fallout of the pay-per-view, talk about like the highs and lows, my favorite matches, the weird booking, the weird pacing. Why does AEW keep doing shows with so many fucking matches? Come on, this is too much, that kind of thing. But that just fucking went out the window because shit happened that it did not involve wrestlers wrestling. It involved wrestlers talking, and it's the fallout from All Out. Yes, Arctic Sloth. So some of this stuff is stuff that like is confirmed and exists, and we have proof of it because we watched it happen live. And some of it is bonkers nonsense that like I don't have a good handle on if it really happened or not, because it's just being reported by reporters. To set things up, I will let you know, All Elite Wrestling, their world champion up until like July or so was CM Punk, who came back to wrestling to wrestle for AEW after a very long hiatus of not wrestling. He was their world champion, but he got injured and he had to take time off. So they made the belt, they made an interim belt. They kept him as champion, but they had crowned Jon Moxley the interim champion. And then he defended the belt a bunch. Then CM Punk came back, and it was very clear that they were going to have to settle things, find out who was the champion. Moxley beat CM Punk in like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, very fast, on an episode of television. Going into last night's pay-per-view, it was the rematch, and CM Punk was fighting to win his belt back. He won that belt back. There was a whole thing in there with like another dude. We'll maybe get into MJF, but I don't know if we're going to get into that. Because really, It turns out none of that matters because everything that matters happened after this very long mixed appeal, my opinion, pay-per-view. That shit doesn't matter because AEW does a media scrum after because Tony Khan comes from the world of football, the owner of AEW. Comes from the world of football and likes to pretend that wrestling is like UFC instead of being like wrestling. So normally these media scrums are a very strange mix of reality and fiction. Some wrestlers talk in character. They're just coming out and they're like, yeah, I gave it 110% and I went for it and I had the crowd behind me and blah, blah, blah. And they just kind of go from that. Some wrestlers, like Chris Jericho, just go, yeah, we did this thing with the me bringing back the lion, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and then Brian and I talked about it and like pitched the idea and we thought it would be really fun, so we're just gonna do it. And I found some of my old gear and whatever. He just talks about it. Yes, New Japan kind of does the same thing. Chris Jericho acted like this is all for show. I'm talking to you as a real person talking about these events, right? Some people do like both. Like Toni Storm, who won the interim women's title, kind of cut a promo on things, kind of talked some mess about a wrestler, kind of was talking real. But the first person for this media scrum, the very first person to talk, was the new, in his second reign, AEW World Champion, CM Punk. And CM Punk fucking talked a lot of goddamn mess, aired his grievances. Let's say that. CM Punk aired his many grievances with other wrestlers in the company, people that he's about to work with, people that he previously worked with, and also the executive vice presidents of the fucking company he is in, who are also wrestlers that founded the company. The elite part of All Elite Wrestling is for the elite, who are EVPs. And Lashbrook, I should say, it started with the very first question led CM Punk to rehash issues because there have been accusations from media and also just public sentiment that, hey, you showed up and you fucked over an employee there that you have personal issues with. Your former friend that you have a lot of personal issues with, you fucked him over, and we think that sucks. So he named Colt Cabana by his real name, and then referenced his Colt's mother by her real name, and kind of litigated and defended himself against these accusations that he has fucked over this guy. And then with literally no prompting, decided to just talk shit about other people. Like he was on a panel once where in character, mind you, another wrestler said that he doesn't really listen to advice. He's not good at listening to advice. And Punk apparently took offense to that. Like, this dude should listen to me. Even though he wasn't talking about CM Punk at all. He was just saying, like, yeah, a bad habit of mine is I don't really take advice. I should. Instead, Punk was just like, this is a slight on me. Which is like, fuck off. And then, like, apparently Punk believes that all of the conversations about him that have gotten out to people, all of the negative things about him, apparently that's all caused by the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, who are as I said, EVPs of the company that he is the champion of. And I should also point out that he's saying all this shit next to Tony Khan, the owner of the company and head booker of the company. His direct boss. And it's like, oh, is Punk just challenging Tony to, like, do something about this? To, like, say something or cut him off or whatever? And people were like, "Oh, this is definitely all a work. There's no way any of this is real. This was just Punk like feeding storylines." Because eventually he does talk about his next opponent, MJF, which he does say you want me to work with assholes or whatever, and that could be definitely a work and not real. But all the other people that he's just insulting, Punk says, "I'm trying to run a business here." He says, "I'm trying to run a business here." He says that, like, if you have an issue with me, come find me, which is like, no one's gonna do that, obviously. But he also is just like, I elevated Jon Moxley, and it's like, no, you didn't, buddy. You definitely fucking didn't. You definitely did not. He, if anything, elevated you, because he is someone that people want to see wrestle. Anyway, all of this happens. It's a nightmare. It's weird. The room, it feels very strange. You assume he meant the business of CM Punk. Yeah, he's trying to run his own business. Yeah, I guess so. 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 6. Also, hey Jam, welcome. It's this whole thing. It's all a nightmare. It's all very weird. Let's see. I need 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so this is the right slot for that, I believe. We'll find out if I did this wrong in a moment. When we get into it. It's this weird thing. Also, I should point out, he does remember that someone who's asking him a question is like has known Colt Cabana, and it's very weird and it's very awkward and everyone's feeling weird. There's a young person. There's like a young adult who has a wrestling YouTube. AJ, he's just there, and that's weird for him, I'm sure. Everyone feels weird about what happened. Eventually Punk does leave, which is great. And then shit happens. Now, everything I just said, we watched. And you can make your interpretations of if that's real or whatever. I do believe it's real because Tony Khan is not a good actor. So I definitely believe that he was feeling very awkward. I do not believe that was a joke of any kind. I do believe he was just, oh shit, I messed this up already, so we gotta fix that. I do believe that to be real. Yes, he's also just eating cupcakes the whole time. Just eating cupcakes. He promotes the cupcake place, and I should point out, he says they're closed Monday and Tuesday. They're actually closed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Punk. So good on you, buddy. It's completely bizarre, totally weird. And now all of the things about there, that was stuff that we could witness by watching the media scrum. Everything that I'm about to talk to you now, I cannot confirm at all. This is all reports from backstage people to some wrestling reporters. We don't know if any of the validity of any of this, how much of it is true, how much has been exaggerated. But the stories are coming out that CM Punk went back to his dressing room, which also contained Ace Steel, who is a producer at, he was a Ring of Honor guy, he's a producer here, and a longtime friend of Punk, and collaborator with Punk. And also Ace Steel's wife, who was looking after Larry, CM Punk's dog. So in this dressing room, you got a dog and a married couple and CM Punk. And then you also have the Jackson brothers and Kenny Omega, the EVPs that have just been talked about on camera and just kind of like ran into the ground and called stupid and whatever by CM Punk, who did say, if you need to talk to me, come find me. Well, apparently they went to come find him. Now, these are three people that entered the room. It's hot, it's heated. At this point, we know that there was we know that there was an altercation. We don't know the exact extent of the altercation. We have been told through the media reports that Punk definitely threw hands. That a chair was thrown by Ace. and hit one of the Jacksons in the eye. I don't remember if it was Matt or Nick. My apologies for not doing my due diligence on that. And then, supposedly, Steel, who I had forgotten existed for many years, because I'm not big on Ring of Honor. I'm not up on Ring of Honor, but he came back in storyline, and he's an employee there, and so I now remember his name. Apparently, our boy Ace bit Kenny Omega somewhere in the scuffle. Now, maybe his mouth was open and Kenny's arm flew towards his mouth. I don't know. But a producer at the show and their champion got into a physical altercation with 3 wrestlers who are also executive vice presidents of the company, which is a private company. And, look, I don't have to really, get into, too many details about this. That's fucking bad. I mean, it doesn't take much for me to convey. All of this is bad. No word about what happened yet. The fallout of this, if what's true and what isn't true. Punk has always been a guy that everyone says oh, if you're his friend, he loves you and he takes care and he looks out for you. But it doesn't take much for you to not be his friend anymore. And then it's, burn the earth, whatever, salt the earth, not burn the earth, salt the earth. That has been what people believe it. Arctic Sauce says, I personally find it very funny if Punk gets fired after coming back from retirement. So the real thing is that Tony Khan cares about ratings more than just about anything else. So I don't think he's going to get fired. I don't know if he gets suspended. I think tomorrow night ratings will be up as people tune in to see if he's on the card or in there. And I think it will be very interesting to see if he shows up. Because right now they're advertising that we're going to hear from MJF. The MJF will be there and we'll hear from him. Okay, so immediately I notice I did miss. I need 2 1x3 in light gray, which I thought I had, but apparently don't have. So I need that. I also have to make sure that is this actually black or not? So I'm not great with light gray and dark gray and black on these, so I'm gonna verify here. All right, is that supposed to be black or is that supposed to be gray? Is it the same color as this or the same color as that? Because this looks like that color, but I don't know if. The easiest way to find out is there are not any 1x3s in dark gray, so that has to be black. So then that would make this light gray, and I can get 1x3. Yes, Arctic Sloth. I don't believe that CM Punk will be fired. Now, should CM Punk be suspended for getting in a physical altercation? Yes, he absolutely should. Wrestlers that got in a physical altercation a couple weeks ago were suspended quietly, but still that did happen. So I think that he's champion. So who knows exactly what's going to happen? I just missed the step completely because I did forget. See, that's my fear, is that I might have missed some of these steps as I went, and then suddenly I don't have the pieces that I thought I did. But I know where to find them, and at least with the yellow, it's not hard to find the yellow pieces I need. But yeah, so here's the thing. I was getting some pushback on a certain Discord that I belong to, where people were like, this made me fucking furious, and I didn't let it go, and I should have let it go, but I didn't let it go in the moment, and I fought back on it. I didn't think that the pay-per-view was that good. I thought it was middling at best. Some might say mid. It might have been mid. I didn't think it was good. Some people didn't agree with that. And some of those people literally told me that maybe I should watch another program if you hate AEW so much. Literally someone said, well, since you hate AEW, why are you watching it? And it was like, look, there are a bunch of people in there. You don't necessarily know everyone. Everybody in that fucking place knows who I am. I watch AEW. I talk about AEW. There are some of my favorite wrestlers are on AEW. I don't hate AEW. I just didn't like that pay-per-view. I just didn't think it was that good. Like, it was long and not that great. Okay, I need to know, is mid short for middling? Aristophan, I think mid comes from middle and comes from actually being pulled in from like League of Legends and that kind of thing, like the midfield. I think that's where mid comes. So I don't think mid comes from middling. I think mid comes from like middle. There were some good matches with finishes I didn't like, and then the entire back at the pay-per-view just didn't hold my interest. Yeah, look, there's a beautiful card in that pay-per-view. They just added too many matches that weren't good. But anyway, so the topic last night was like, Pat doesn't like this show or whatever, or like the couple people that didn't like it were wrong. Now, luckily, some folks shut the fuck up about that when the person that runs that particular Discord also didn't like the show. And then suddenly, people weren't saying anything to me about it, which was great. Because I wasn't attacking them and I wasn't attacking the company. I'm often, like, pretty damn... I have thoughts and opinions, and I'm pretty critical of AEW. I'm also critical of WWE. I'm critical of the indie shows that I watch. Like, you know, I'm critical of the entertainment that I consume. The fucking concept of just enjoy wrestling can go straight to hell, because it's telling you shut up and just like things. And it's like, no, it's okay to not like things. It's actually fine to not like things and to dismiss things that you think suck ass. Like, it's okay to do that. It's all right to be critical of the things that you like and also the things you don't like. In the same way that, to be very clear, to make things very, very clear, if you enjoyed last night's show, if you thought All Out was great, I'm happy for you. I want people to like things. I just thought that some of the endings were tone deaf. The placement of the card was bizarre. And overall, it felt very rushed for a company that only has a couple pay-per-views a year. The fact that they only have a couple a year, and yeah, they had some injuries to deal with and stuff like that, but like, it should be easier for them. They're not doing a pay-per-view every month. They're not ending a pay-per-view and building to the next one. Like, they don't have to build to anything right now for a while, till November. They got all the time in the world to fucking dick around. It's very, very bizarre. So anyway, luckily, the story of that show has changed because now it's all about CM Punk. Which probably hurts MJF, who must have assumed that he was going to be the talk of the show last night. And he was for a little while. But, yeah, he's not the full story right now. The full story is, supposedly, the world champion threw a punch at one of the EVPs of the company and founders of the company. So, that he is the champion of. So, we'll see. You're bummed about MJF. The problem is I can't tell if they are going to go full heel. If their intention is that MJF is coming back as a heel to take on the babyface CM Punk, that's doomed to fail because the crowd agrees, because MJF is a heel that the crowd can agree with, and CM Punk is an asshole. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they decide to play this, which ways they decide to go with it. My hope is that MJF does not have a faction behind him like it looked he did, because MJF was the secret Joker. We didn't know at the time, but he was the Joker in the Casino Battle Royale ladder match. And basically, everybody in the ladder match, all 7 people were in the ring. The 8th person wasn't there yet. And then a bunch of people in masks showed up, beat everyone up. And then a man who was not in the match climbed the ladder to get the casino chip, poker chip that you use to get a title shot. And then revealed it as Stokely Hathaway, who is incredible. And he has a faction of middling white dudes and also Lee Moriarty, but he just has a collection of like he's got a faction with the Gunn brothers, Billy Gunn's sons. That'll tell you how cool and awesome his faction of dudes is. Real mid faction. Working on the engine right now, friends. But anyway, apparently they did it all for MJF, who on the indies, Stokely has had run-ins with, and so it wasn't like the most surprising thing in the world that they were associated with each other. I don't like the association. I hope that this was just this wasn't like that. Because the main thing is, MJF does not need a mouthpiece, and Stokely should be working with people that do need a mouthpiece to help elevate them. Would I like to see Stokely cut a fucking program, just like tear through CM Punk? Of course I would like that. I think it would be very fun and good. I don't think we're getting that. I hope we're not getting that. I hope Wednesday night we find out, oh no, he just got paid by MJF to make sure that he won. But it'll be interesting to see where that goes, like the storyline. But that was like the reveal was the end of the show. A lot happened on this one. If you didn't watch the show last night, I would say watch the 0 hour on AEW's YouTube channel, because a wild thing happened on that thing, a complete nonsense thing that if you're not super into wrestling or you just like haven't been paying attention is so weird that I want to talk about it right now. So a weird thing happened. And then also a very good wrestling match happened. The weird thing that happened was Hook, who is the son of Taz, wrestler turned announcer Taz. He has a son. His name is Hook. He is a wrestler. He is young, and he has a title called the FTW title. The For the Win or Fuck the World title, depending on who you're looking at and talking to. But anyway, he was defending that belt, and after he easily defeated his opponent, it looked like, and it was starting to happen, that his opponent and his opponent's tag team partner were attacking Hook. And you can't attack Hook. Someone's going to come in and save Hook. He's got friends. A wrestler in the back will come and help him out, right? No, it wasn't a wrestler. It was Action Bronson. That's right. The rapper Action Bronson was in the front row. He raps Hook's entrance music and loves wrestling and loves Hook. And so Action Bronson fucking came out to clean house and toss some dudes. And the scuttlebutt is that Action has been starting to train to compete in the ring and will be tagging with Hook at the end of the year in a New York show. And that was fucking weird as hell, my friends. Please understand that it is a truly bizarre and weird thing that I just said to you. That Action Bronson just appeared in the ring. It was fucking weird. The other thing that happened in the pre-show that was cool, besides the very good match, was the opening bout, which was not great. I'll look up the exact names of everybody. It was for the AAA mixed tag match, which is men and women, but mixed tag. Sammy Guevara and Tay Mello retained their titles against Ortiz and Ruby Soho. Ortiz and Ruby Soho came out with face paint on. Ruby had lightning bolts, and Ortiz had complete total face paint. He's done face paint many times before. This is new. But they had face paint like Aja Kong and Bull Nakano. And that fucking kicks ass. It was a weird tribute, but it was cool as hell. Yes, as Lashbrook mentions, the last pay-per-view also had a rapper who also hit a wrestler on purpose, planned, and how that is weird. AEW wants rappers to like them as much as WWE wants rock musicians, specifically rap rock people, to like them. It is the same. It is similar. But they really want. Oh, they really want wrestlers to. Not wrestlers. They want rappers to think they're cool. All right, so we get that there. So it was cool to face paint. Now, the actual best match of the 4 matches that happened in the pre-show was Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii. This was they had a match earlier in the year in May, I believe, in New Japan. Now Eddie reps the All Japan style; those are his heroes, and Ishii is like a staple of the New Japan style here. This was a goddamn fucking fight. There were suplexes, and then there were just punches and slaps. Eddie's chest was unbelievably red. Also, Ishii's was as well. But there was a DDT and a suplex and like just so much fucking chops. They chopped each other for probably 11 of the 13 minutes that they wrestled. It's on YouTube, as I said. And I would recommend people please go take a look at that match if you want to see strong style. Yes, no, Ishii's like popped blood vessels. Like there were like, it was like he didn't tear a pec, but Eddie bruised Ishii's pectoral muscles. Like it was hard hitting and brutal. It is a style that you do not see on AEW all that often, that you do not see on American television all that often. Obviously, this was not necessarily on TV. This was the YouTube pre-show and also on Fight and whatever, Bleacher Report and all that. But it was intense and bonkers, and I highly recommend checking it out. That match just was great, and like I said, they had 13 minutes or so. It was part 2 of the double feature of big men slapping meat that we had this weekend. We had Gunther versus Sheamus, and then we had this match, and it was phenomenal to watch, and I just was so thrilled that I had the opportunity to watch that match, because goddamn, it was good. Let's see. Things on the main card that I want to talk about. There were so many matches. We talked about the ladder match stuff. Let's see. Do I like the idea that Kenny Omega and Matt and Nick Jackson, the Bucks, and Kenny the Elite, won the Trios tournament and won the championship? So, if I'm being objective, I think that it is fine that the guys who, the Bucks weren't the first tag champions. The people assumed they were going to be the first tag champions. They weren't. They've been a trio with him for years. This is Kenny coming back after a long bout of recovery from multiple injuries and also vertigo. Him coming back and just like, it's a beautiful story, and I want to be supportive of that story so I can look at it and go, okay. The idea that Hangman Page and the Dark Order, that John fucking Silver could have had a belt in AEW when they've never pulled a trigger on Dark Order winning the tag belts. They've got great teams. People have been released from that crew and sent it to oblivion, and it's frustrating that we almost had them bringing home the belts with Hangman Adam Page who has had nothing good going on since he lost the belt. And the story of the match was maybe Hangman doesn't hate the Elite like he should. And maybe Hangman doesn't actually have the backs of the Dark Order. And it's like, it's good storytelling, but in my heart of hearts, it's not what I wanted to watch. And so it was disappointing. That was a disappointing outcome more than a like. It's a good match. It was also, there were 3 trios matches on the card. So there were 3 matches that had 3 people versus 3 people. This was the one for the belts, and it was on first. And that felt fucking weird. It felt very strange that was that happened like that. I thought that was very odd. So I didn't love that. Jade Cargill versus Athena was under 5 minutes. I would have liked the Dark Order to win. Still kind of bummed the actual trio wasn't the finals. Yes, it wasn't a trio from the Dark Order. It was with Hangman. Honestly, actually, the Best Friends. And now the Best Friends are going to be fucking getting involved with another trio. So they're not even immediately going after the Bucks. The Best Friends should be going after the Elite immediately. Instead, they're going to be like dicking around with good wrestlers, but not for the title. And I'm not thrilled about that. But anyway, it really should have been Best Friends. And when it wasn't going to be Best Friends, I would have liked it to have been Dark Order and Hangman Page. And have him just fucking actually join the Dark Order, finally. But we did not get that. Instead, we got... okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, didn't love that. Jade Cargill is still really good. She has to lose the belt at some point. She's got to lose this fucking belt at some point. She can't just keep winning these short matches. They're going to run out of women for her to beat. It's just ridiculous. It probably should have been Athena's night to win it. Probably. You got to have Jade lose at some point. I don't know who takes it. That's the thing. I just don't know who wins it now. So, what do we do? Let's see. I have... Hey, Motor City Machine Guns can still fucking wrestle. The Motor City Machine Guns from the match being Moon Knight versus She-Hulk was kind of funny. Yes. Jade dressed with face paint like She-Hulk, like Jen Bartel's She-Hulk, was fucking great. That was cool to see. Yeah, and Ember Moon kind of doing, it's like Athena used to be Ember Moon in WWE, so it's kind of fun when she does Moon Knight stuff. Like, that's kind of fun. Yeah, that was neat. Yeah, I think that the Machine Guns are good, and it was fun to see them wrestle. I think Jay Lethal is a waste of money. AEW is wasting their money and their time on Jay Lethal. I think he just is. There's just nothing there that I'm interested in. Their manager, Satnam Singh, has been talking. Is it Satnam Singh or is it Sanjay? Oh no, sorry, Sanjay Dutt. I apologize. Sanjay Dutt was talking mad shit about a particular young lady, Dax Harwood's daughter, Finley, and they've been talking a lot of shit about that young girl, which is just rude. That's just not cool. Anyway, Samoa Joe came back. Yes, Sanjay Dutt is the pencil guy. Yes. Yeah, he was talking a lot of shit. He had a shirt that said, like, fight like an 8-year-old brat, which is the t-shirt is fight like an 8-year-old girl. And then, so yeah, after they win, it looks like the heels are going to turn the tables on the faces. But then Samoa Joe comes back from working on the Twisted Metal TV series because he's in that. His body is in that. I don't think his voice is going to be in it, but his body is. So he comes back, clears house, somehow gets busted open. He bleeds. We'll later realize there has been no blood in the night other than the main event and also a random accidental bleeding on the part of Samoa Joe. But anyway, they beat up the pencil boy, and then she does the step on you pin, and so I mean I wouldn't say that it's true, but one could argue that Finlay has a victory in AEW, which is kind of fun. She would essentially be the second child with a victory in AEW. Hey, I don't know who you booked to win Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks. Powerhouse Hobbs is up there for being number one contender for the main belt somehow, which doesn't make any fucking sense because he loses all the goddamn time, except last night. But he's up there, so he should theoretically be winning a match. But also, Ricky Starks is hot as hell and is loved by the audience. Now, not hot attractive, he is, but also I'm mostly that he is a fan favorite and is really over, and probably shouldn't have lost to Powerhouse Hobbs in 5 fucking minutes. It was weird as hell. It was a squash. This was a match that didn't need to be on the card. If you had to cut one match from the card, I would say this would be the match to cut. The previous match also I would say you could cut because it wasn't for anything or about anything. But that one you definitely could cut without it being a problem. So that is my big, bold assessment of that. Yeah, that was 5 minutes, Lashbrook. That was a 5-minute match. There were a couple matches that happened that were really short and weird, and that was one of them. Not the shortest match on the card. I don't think Jade was the shortest match on the card. I believe. I'm going to double check because I think yes. Jade's match should have been the shortest match on the card. The actual shortest match on the card was 33 seconds, according to F4W Online. That would be Christian Cage defeated Jungle Boy Jack Perry. They're including his real name and not just Jungle Boy. Yeah, he got beat up real bad in 33 seconds because he got attacked by his former friend. His former friend attacked him out of nowhere because the storyline was that our boy Luchasaurus had turned heel and sided with Christian Cage, but not really, because in reality it was all some sort of weird elaborate hoax to get close to Christian. But then in reality it wasn't that, and I guess we'll find out more later. Christian Cage has a victory on a pay-per-view over Jack Perry, who is, if you're not familiar with wrestling, Luke Perry from 90210's son, who is a wrestler. Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Yeah, it was a big old beatdown. Then, I guess this week we're getting Death Triangle versus Best Friends because Orange Cassidy wants a shot at Pac's belt from Death Triangle, in which he laughed at. But then also Pac was very dismissive of Death Triangle, of the Lucha Brothers, and how that they were screwed out of their shot at the main title in the by getting beat down. Apparently Pac doesn't really give a shit about that, which doesn't surprise me. Pac, come on, man, gotta be supportive of your friends. Is there any other matches that I wanted to talk about here? Oh, the women's 4-way match was good. It got way more time than I thought it would. Britt Baker didn't win, so I was happy with that because I didn't want Britt to win because they got to have other stars. Toni Storm is not the fan favorite. The crowd was definitely for Sheeta and also for Jamie Hayter. And some people were like, there would be no way to know that people were invested in Jamie Hayter. And it was like, oh, you mean the woman that everyone in the crowd wants to turn on Britt Baker and turn face because she's a fucking great wrestler and known and he's like known in Japan and like known all over for being a quality wrestler. Yet people wanted her. They wanted to turn face for a while. So that didn't happen. Tony is probably the safe choice, and I wasn't displeased with it. The audience was fucking pissed off that the Acclaimed didn't win the tag belts. Again, a match that didn't need to be on this pay-per-view. Swerve Strickland is probably going to turn fully heel and probably going to turn on Keith Lee, and then they'll have a program together. That is my guess. But yeah, Chicago wanted the Acclaim to win. They really wanted the Acclaim to win. They are pissed off the Acclaim did not win. It was a long match. I want to say, 21 minutes. They got way more time than I thought they would. But yeah, why would the Women's Championship not be in the pay-per-view? No, Lashbrook, no, I think both women's matches should have been on the pay-per-view. I don't think it should have. My opinion is the tag belts shouldn't have been on the pay-per-view because that had a nothing story with no build. I'm sorry if that was if that didn't come out right. No, I don't think the tag titles should have been defended on the pay-per-view because there was no build to it. Like literally this past week, they were just like, "Oh yeah, you want a shot?" No, the women's four-way should have been for the vacated women's title and not the interim title. That's my opinion on that. That they shouldn't have had an interim title, and it should have just been decided on the new champion, and then Thunder Rosa could just, become the number one contender when she comes back. Like, I think that's a better story than the story they're telling, but obviously it's not my decision on that. Obviously. Let's see. So, let's see. Chris Jericho defeated Bryan Danielson. And again, a match that should have been the main event of a Dynamite or a Rampage and not on a very long card. The audience was dead for this good-ass wrestling match. It's a very good match that the crowd was just like, this slow-paced, like, good match. I should also mention that Daniel Bryan came out to his theme, that there's a version of his theme where there's lyrics by some fucking dude, and that dude came out to sing the lyrics, and the crowd was just like, who are you, and why do you not have a shirt on? And I thought for sure that guy didn't have a shirt on because Daniel Bryan was going to give him a big chop. But Daniel Bryan did not give that guy a big chop, and I was disappointed because I wanted that guy to just fucking get chopped. And he didn't, and I was disappointed. I don't even remember that fucking dude's name, but I was just like, wait, this song has lyrics? What's going on? Anyway, that match was fine. It just, I don't need to see Jericho win ever again. And also, it was for like the love of Daniel Garcia, who watched it from backstage and wasn't there. Like, he should have been. I'm not saying he should have been suspended above the ring or anything, but he should have been like there to watch the match, like in ringside, and he wasn't, and that was weird. Let's see. And then I guess we can't put this up. We can't immediately go to the main event, so we got to put this trios match in here. Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro defeated House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. This match was great for one reason, and one reason only. Buddy Matthews got sunburned real bad, and so like he's on the like goth spooky stable, and he had just a very obvious. First of all, Buddy Matthews does not have any tattoos, which is weird because the other guys are very tatted up, and he doesn't have any. But also, he just got so fucking goddamn sunburned, and it's very funny to me. Yeah, Lashbrook, that Garcia should have gotten involved and stopped Jericho from cheating instead of Jericho cheating, and then he was just disappointed. Like, who cares? I don't care you're disappointed. But anyway, Sting spit mist into Malachi Black's face, and that's very fun. Now, the actual story of this match is what happens after, which is not aired and not shown. But Malachi Black blew a kiss to the audience, and then everyone, including Julia Hart, who's also in House of Black but didn't wrestle with them, gave him a big hug. They all did a group hug. And they're the heels, bad guys, and they were hugging each other, which is weird. Now, the backstage stories of this is that the backstage rumors are that Malachi Black asked for his release and was denied it. He wanted to leave. He has been dealing with some personal issues and some health issues, and he would like to take a hiatus. And also, rumors are that he has been very unhappy in his direction in AEW, and the return of Triple H to WWE, he's probably somebody that thinks he might get a better shot creatively in WWE because Triple H really likes him. Who knows? That's a lot of that speculation, but the kiss, blowing a kiss and basically kind of saying goodbye makes a lot of people think that Malachi Black might be taking a leave of absence, and they can explain it away that he got misted by Sting and, it comes back even more fucked up, or maybe he is going to get his release. We don't know. But Tommy End might be taking some time off. And if anything of what has been rumored is true, my hopes for that man, for his safety and security and health, good health in the future, I hope that good things happen for him, and he gets the much needed help that he needs. And then the main event, which was, how fucking long was this match? 20 minutes. A fine 20-minute match. CM Punk winning was pretty much a foregone conclusion that that they did the squash to set up the underdog story. CM Punk being an underdog is laughable. Moxley did get booed. A beloved member of the roster. They were in Chicago, but here's the thing: he didn't fucking get booed the whole time, and he didn't get booed by everybody because people were still pretty high on Jon Moxley. And then MJF revealed himself, and people were like, "Yeah, all right, sure, sounds good." Yeah, who knows? And it wasn't a great overall card. Could have lost 5 matches and been really good, and instead it was just okay. That is my overall take on that particular card. It was fun watching with people, but yeah, I was more often than not, I was okay. I went to go get food and almost completely missed the Christian Cage Jungle Boy match. I missed the beatdown because I assumed that the video package would happen and I would have time to go get stuff. And then suddenly I'm coming back and it's just oh no, Pat, you got things. Shit, you almost missed it. It's what? What's going on? All right, so we'll do these pieces next. We are going to have to build out of the bag because I didn't know enough pieces ahead of time, apparently. Because I only got a couple steps left and we've got, time. Supposedly, Cage is hurt. So that would make sense that Christian Cage, that they would protect him by not making him do a lot. But also, don't do the match then. Just don't even book the match. Who cares? Instead of having it be 33 seconds with, a beatdown before. Oh, sorry. I'm shaking there. I apologize. Then just don't do the match at all. Just fucking save it. Have him get hurt on screen in a different way. Anyway, now's the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel. All of the things I'm about to talk about here are optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you would like to do these things, it would be great, and I would appreciate it. If you are currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. Through cash money or through using a Prime Gaming token. But if you're a subscriber, again, you can throw that in chat. We love to see it. We already talked about this, using cash money, using a Prime Gaming token. It's September. It's September, my friends. So you can save money if you want to extend your membership and add like a couple of months or your subscription. If you want to become a subscriber, return to being a subscriber, you could do that. That would be great. Or if you want to gift a sub, join the gift sub leaderboard with Unjan and Aristofan. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community. And also the anonymous gifter who gifted some subs. Thank you for that. That's another way to support what I do here. It's optional, obviously, but if you want to get in, you could do that. There are ways to support me that don't involve Twitch, because I understand that some people are like, I want my money nowhere near Twitch. I understand, and I got you. My Patreon is pretty great. I'm trying to get to $150 a month on that Patreon. I'm right at 130 something, I believe, or 113. I can't remember. But I got a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider becoming a backer over there. I would appreciate it. Let's see, we got that. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. You go there and you say, hey, let me watch a couple videos. Let me subscribe, because subscribing is free. But maybe you want to go a step further over my YouTube. If you wanted to, you can become a member. And then you just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. You'll get my Wednesday video tomorrow. I just recorded it today and uploaded it. It's pretty fun. It's about a band, and you might like it when you watch it tomorrow. We'll talk more about that later. Let's see, we got that. Oh, also direct donations, because those are all monthly ways to support me, but maybe you can't do it monthly. I understand. Maybe you just once in a while want to throw me a couple bones. There's direct way to support me through Coffee and PayPal and Stream Elements, and everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, through Patreon. YouTube also includes AdSense, I should say, and through Twitch. All goes into a fund. I use that money to buy model kits and equipment, and I appreciate that very much. The Lego set that I'm currently building right now, this very minute that I'm working on, was a gift from my friend Adam. And so it jumped the queue. Adam was like, do you want this Lego set? And I said, yes. If something jumps the queue, it means I build it before I would build anything else on my list. So in this case, it is... Why is this sorted? Sorry. For some reason, my custom commands are sorted by... date added or something. They're not in alphabetical order, and I don't know why, so I apologize. But it takes me a while. Right now it's taking me a while to find the things that I need to talk to you about. Very weird. I don't know why. But anyway, I have an Amazon wish list. If you buy something from my wish list, it jumps the queue. It becomes the next thing I build. I'll talk about that list very briefly here. I've got Lego sets. I've got model kits. Inexpensive kits, very expensive kits that are constantly on sale, kits that have Amazon Prime shipping, kits that don't have Amazon Prime shipping. All kinds of different things. You find something on that list, and then you pick it out, you pay for it, it comes to me, and then it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I build. There's also some equipment at the bottom, because I'm always going to need more gear, so why not pick something up from there if you see something you think would be helpful for me. But yeah, see if there's something on the list that you think would be neat and pick it up if you want to, and it'll jump the queue. My alternatives to that, I have some alternatives to that, sorry, I'm just going to refresh this page, because maybe that'll fucking fix it. It did! Hooray! It did! It fixed it. It's now in alphabetical order like it's supposed to be. Okay, so I have that. I also have a throne wish list. So you can jump on my throne wish list, see if there's anything there that you would want to pick up. It's a much more curated list. Again, it would jump the queue. I shoot a dedicated video for my YouTube. And then also, you could just go to USA Gundam store, buy a gift card, and then you'll get an email with the gift card code, and then DM me with the gift card code, and I'll buy something from USA Gundam store. That is an alternative to a wish list. If you want to support me for free, you can just join my Discord. It's a nice little place. I recommend checking out the Discord. If you're watching this later on YouTube, what's up YouTube? You can find all these links in the show description below the video. Other things. Okay, couple video links for you to check out here. Pat Bear's Anime Club, I tried to answer the question, where's all the like big boy gay anime? Where's the Bara anime? There's Bara manga. Why isn't there Bara anime? I tried to answer that question, and I did some research that I think it was interesting. So check that out. And then Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series where every week I research something very quickly online, usually on Wikipedia, and then I try to remember everything I can about that thing and then talk to you about it in an educational and entertaining manner. And this video was about Eddie Kingston, because when I recorded it, I was about to see him wrestle for the first time in years, and I was very happy to do that. So I just talked about the Wikipedia page of one Eddie Kingston, the man that probably had the best match of the night. At least my favorite match of the night last night. So there's that. Check all that out if that's something you'd like to do. I'm going to talk about some manga and some anime, and then we'll get, I keep working on this Lego set, so we'll get into that. We're going to do manga first, because it's Manga Monday, and then we'll talk about some anime after. So first things first, got to put this here. And then also, before we get back into that, I need to drink a little water, so I'm going to do that, and we will dramatically transition over to me getting some water right now. All right. Let's talk about two manga. One of them is an isekai. One of them is a banished from the party story. Two very popular subgenres that I read a lot of those styles. The first one is, it has a literal translation, and I'm sure it'll have a different translation when it has an official release here in the United States. If and when that happens, I'm sure that it will get a better name than A User of Green Magic and Fragrance. There is some action in this series, but it is mostly just a very chill story about a lady who got isekai'd and her adventures in like fitting in and making the most of things and making potions and doing alchemy and just like living with a cool dude and stuff like that. So anyway, one day this girl is just like, oh shit, I'm in a forest. What's happening right now? And, oh weird. I met a Fenrir. I met this like cool wolf dog. Like this like very imposing wolf dog is here. And she has just decided that I am nice and she likes me. And then she starts to remember like, okay, there was a moment before I woke up here where I did meet someone that said she was a goddess. And okay, I guess I've become all right, I guess like I've been blessed by this goddess. So our friend Belle she has magical abilities. She's got healing magic, really great healing magic that and we find out she's got great healing magic because she stumbles upon this guy named Alex who helps her out, and she's just like, well, I know I can make some healing potions for you, and I can do some stuff with herbs and stuff like that. So I'll help you out because you helped me out. And he's just like, hey, who are you? Because you just healed my curse. This dude had a cursed arm that he got cursed from like fighting like a demon or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. But our dude Alex had a cursed arm, and he couldn't really use it that well, and now he can. And he's just like, hey, what's your deal? Because you just healed me. Also, the animal, are you a monster tamer? Because you're hanging out with like a cub, like a wolf cub, like a mythical beast cub. Like what's going on with you? What's your deal? And she's just like, well, I don't really remember and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just trying to like figure things out. And he's like, okay. Come with me. And we meet her younger sister, who doesn't like Belle, of course. Then they get along. And almost immediately, our girl is just swept up in helping people and going on adventures and there's a dude that like is talking shit and like tries to kidnap her, and then a bunch of people react immediately and are just like, what the fuck? Fuck you. And take care of shit. And it's like, it's not a slow slice of life. It is not, I would not call this a chill anime, but it is, or manga, I should say. I won't say anime. It's not like super chill, but it also is slow paced. There are chapters that are just dedicated to like her like making good food, because she does open. She ends up opening like a cafe and like getting employees and like figuring all that stuff out, which she was not expecting to do in her life. But yeah, so it is a little slow paced, but there's plenty of good stuff in it. We're making the floor right now, as you can see here. Gonna work on this checkerboard. I love this checkerboard pattern of like whatever this floor was on this Volkswagen camper van. I think this is a really cool idea. I think it looks really neat. Anyway, so that's a user of green magic and fragrance. I think it is pretty dang lovely. I would recommend it if you are looking, if you want to track that down. The other manga I want to talk to you about is the kicked out of the hero's party, they didn't understand how good I was shenanigans, which was a court magician who was forced on supportive magic because his allies were too weak, aims to become the strongest after being banished. And it's pretty much like I said. So this dude was... Legend has it that there was this school... The Adventuring Academy had like a party that was like a attacker and an archer and a mage and a support who could also fight. He was like a well-rounded guy who was like good with support magic, but also could get in there and use his sword. And they were like the strongest young adventuring party. Well, when they graduated, he got summoned to the castle, and the king was like, hey, my son is going to be part of a party, and they're an S-rank party, and we need you to go in there and be support. And he was like, sure, no problem. And the reality of what that meant was literal, just support magic. So he never got to use his sword. He only did support magic. And the problem with support magic is that idiots don't think you're doing anything. They start to forget that without that support magic, you are literally not as strong. So eventually, the prince is just like, there's actually no reason for you to be here. You don't do anything. So get out of here. And then when he tries to like argue his case, he can't see the king, and the king doesn't know this is happening, which we'll know eventually will come back, probably. Eventually the king will find out. But anyway, right now, nobody knows. So he's just like, well, I don't have a fucking job right now. But luckily, literally the day that he gets banished, he runs into his old party member. And she's just like, hey, why don't we reform Lasting Period, which was their party. And so a bunch of the early chapters are him like getting his confidence back, because he hasn't done this shit in a long time. Like, he hasn't picked up a sword in a while. He's been the support person for a long time. And of course there's prejudices because people hear that he was part of like the court and he like worked, so they think that he's like lazy or not good at what he does. So he has to like, his like promotional exam for the guild is with like the guild master, who like really tries to hurt him because he's trying to prove a point that this dude is in over his head. And then like the guy beats him and he's like, oh, okay, I guess you're pretty strong. It is and then we're just where I've left off on the story, we are getting into the good stuff, aka them out there getting things done and starting to be a party, like getting out there and doing some adventuring. Now did I miss up on there? So we got to this part, and I have some pieces that I haven't done yet, which makes me think that I grabbed too many parts. So the thing is, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I have this part assembled. I'm going to go back and make sure that I didn't fuck this up anywhere. Because I may have just grabbed, like, these are just extras that I grabbed, I guess. I mean, I won't know for sure. If something doesn't feel like level, then I'll know later that I screwed up. But right now, I think these were just parts that I didn't actually need and I grabbed too much of. So, but I have hit the part here where I have built every, we got through like a bunch of steps here. We got through most of 23 steps, which I didn't think we would. So now for the rest of this, I will be building out of the bags. I'll be pulling bags and pulling parts that I need out of those bags. And then on Thursday, I'll have a bunch of stuff like knolled ahead of time so that won't have to be doing this. Because this is going to take longer, friends. This part of the process is going to take longer because I have to go through everything and find all the parts that I need, as I'm going, which is not ideal because there's a lot of parts here. So some of these will be very easy to find and others will be not as easy to find. So I apologize for that. I thought that I had pulled just enough pieces for the 2 hours, but I underestimated how fast I could build. That's the thing about Lego. You forget about Lego is when you are in the zone and you are moving, Lego does not take as long as you would think. I'm going to need 4 of red for the next step here, so I might as well get those out later. Then a white 1x3. At some point, I will have enough, like I'll have built enough of this kit that I can just knoll everything and it will fit on the table. Right now, all of this Lego will not fit on the table, so there's no reason for me to do it, so I'm just doing it step by step. But eventually, I won't need to do, I can just, dump all of it out by color on this table and it'll be fine. But right now, no good. So this is the thing, right? It's going to take me a little while to find this 1x3 that I got to get in here. 1x4 is no problem. 1x2, no problem. 1x3, where are you? 1x3, I found it. I found it. Great. So that's a court magician. It's good. I mean, look, I would say if you don't like those stories of like the guy banished from the party that turns out to be pretty strong, actually, this one it's not. It's like it's justified. Like he's fucking bummed. The guy's been like just beaten down over the years, and finally was forced into banishment, and now is like on his way to being with a group of people that actually want to work with him and figuring out where he belongs in the world. And it's like, cool, good for you, man. I am sure eventually the king will summon you and tell you to get back in the heroes party. But then you can say, no, we're replacing the heroes party because they're clearly bad and we are not bad, or whatever they're going to do. And we just got a hint of the prince being very confused why they suddenly are not as strong as they were. Because they're just starting to like catch on to the fact that maybe, just maybe, our dude is the dude that we kicked out was the reason we were good. Hold on 1 second, folks. I need to tell someone not to. Someone has asked me. A friend of mine has asked me to tell them to not buy an expensive gunpla, and I am going to tell them not to. Now, you might say, well, Pat, oops, sorry about that. You might say, Pat, you should enable your friends to purchase a lot of expensive gunpla. To which I say, no, my friend that I'm talking about right now has a lot of expensive gunpla already that he has not built, and he should build that shit first, and then buy more expensive gunpla when he has run out of gunpla. That is my particular theory on that. Did I do this right? No, did not do this right. I was like, this doesn't look right. It wasn't. We're getting a lot of this frame done for this. I haven't really talked much about this particular build. I'm gonna zoom out a little. There we go. Haven't really talked about this other than I really love this checkered pattern. I think it looks great. And then we've got spots for our wheels here. And we got a little engine. We built that engine, which I think is fun. Why this engine has the rubber band, I don't know. I don't know why this engine has the rubber band, but it does. It comes with the rubber band. So you can, like, fake a belt. I don't know why it has that, but it's kind of neat that it does. All right. Now we need some black and some gray. So we look at this and go, okay, so that's black, and that's, is that black or is that gray? That looks like it's dark gray. That's light gray. That's red. Great. Are they some form of limited release? No, Lashbrook, it's not even like, oh, it's a premium Bandai kit. You should just get it because you know, who knows when next time you can get it. It's just an expensive master grade that has just existed for a few years and is expensive. Then also, it's a good build. The problem is that, like, that kit is a good kit. He just shouldn't be building it. When I'm doing this, like, steps like here where I have to go from the bag, I am just placing all of them here kind of near the guide. Oh, you can see there. I'm just going to so I'm looking what I need and putting them there just so I can find it, because this will prevent me, hopefully, from missing a piece and missing a step, which I obviously don't want to do. So now we can talk about some anime. It's anime talking time. And we'll talk about Parallel World Pharmacy and My Isekai Life. I gained a second character class and became the strongest mage in the world. So I am now caught up on one of these two shows and I'm still a week behind on My Isekai Life, but I'll get caught up on it. I might talk about one of the episodes coming up. I don't know, but Parallel World Pharmacy. I got 2 episodes to talk about on here, so we'll get into that. The gist of this one is both episodes are kind of dealing with the fact that the pharmacist guild fucking hates our dude. Hates Pharma because Pharma wants to sell things to common folks and like basically to all comers, and they have failed to ruin his store, and then also the main dude Varen fucking gets really pissed off that the Empress is backing him. He's like, why is the Empress backing this loser or whatever? Because he doesn't know that the Empress almost died and that our boy was the guy that saved her life. So, you think that this guild would shut up and back down when they found out that the Empress likes our guy. But apparently that's not enough to cause them to be like, no. So they're like, no pharmacist can help him. Yada, yada, yada. We got to do all this stuff. And then we've been talking about this like guy named Pierre that he was introduced in a previous episode. This episode is heavy on Pierre. Our boy, his wife, he's a pharmacist, so he's not supposed to be hanging out, and he's not supposed to trust our guy, Pharma. But the real thing that his daughter is sick, and no one can help him except our boy. Our boy can help her out. Our boy Pharma helps his daughter, and then he's like trying to argue with the guild. He's like, hey, like, I know you said we shouldn't deal with Pharma, but in fact, Pharma's saving lives, and we shouldn't give up on him. But then Pierre is kicked out of the guild, and his pharmacist license is revoked, and then mysteriously his shop is destroyed. And then Pierre's like, okay, look, I'll work with you. I'll join your new compounding guild, because the Empress is like, yeah, you can do a new guild. Sure, you can start a new guild. So he's just like, great, I got this idea. I want you on board. So our guy, Pierre, learns the techniques and opens up a new shop named Dawn Pharmacy. And that's where we're going with this. Okay, so I need a bunch of white pieces, including the license plate. I gotta get the license plate, which, because it's a pre-owned, has the sticker for the license plate has already been added. So I just have to find that piece, so I don't have to do the work. And then I need 2 long friends. I need a bunch of small stuff. And then I gotta find the... So normally I would just grab this and then I would add the sticker that I needed. But since the sticker's already been put on, I just have to find the sticker. So I have to find the 1/4 that already has a sticker on it. I need 2 flats while I'm looking here. So now I just have to turn over every 1/4 looking for it. Oh yeah, Chudley. Congratulations. Thank you for hanging out. Enjoy your sub. Yeah, we had an anonymous gifter give 2 subs earlier, which was rad. So yeah, enjoy emotes and not seeing ads. Hey, here's the 1/4 we need that has the license plate on it. So we have that. We have these things here. We need a bunch of more pieces that I have to dig out now. But we found the one that could have been the hardest one to find. So we got that. Oh yeah, we're just doing the license plate stuff here. So let's see. We have that. So we need 2 1x2s. We need several of these ones, the one shots. We need a bunch more of those. And we need those faces there. So none of this is what we need. Oh. I did just drop a piece. I could hear it bounce and feel it bounce off my leg. So that's not good. I'll have to figure out what that... Oh, I found it. There. It was one of the pieces that I need. So that was nice. So yeah, I will, again, folks, I will have this better organized on Thursday. I will go through and do many steps ahead. The nice thing is by doing that, I also get a kind of a good vibe of what is in this kit and what are the steps are. So I almost end up with a preview. Okay, so I need 1 more 1x2 flat and then 3 more 1x1 one-offs. So I need a 1x2 flat and then a bunch of these small ones. That's 6. So I need 2 more of those. A 1x2 flat that I need. So I need 2 more 1x1s. And I just like digging through the bag, finding it. And I got all the parts that I need. So now I can assemble this front. Or the license plate. It's the back. What am I calling the front? It's clearly the back because the front has the engine. So this is clearly the back of this that I am building here. What am I even talking about? More about Parallel World Pharmacy. Parallel World Pharmacy, the anime that I am currently talking about here. Episode 9 is that the Empress is very impressed by the work that our boy is doing, which is great. And he's like, I'm going to keep helping you, Pharma. And Farmer's like, awesome, good. I got stuff to do. Glad you're on board. And then the guy that that is high up, for some reason he has a very out of nowhere but important for the story reminder about Camus, who was a former peer and friend, who was so obsessed with discovering new medicines that he inevitably became a murderer. And for some reason, he's reminded of that guy, and you're like, I bet that's very important. It is. Let's see. And also, hey, guess what? There's an epidemic coming, which is at a place where they get a lot of imports. So they're worried that those imports might be contaminated, and we get Pharma's job to go and find out what's going on with that. And Pharma, from doing minor investigations, is yeah, I know what this is. This is definitely the Black Plague. Oh shit, this world has the Black Plague as well. which not great. And then they're gonna go to. He's gonna go there, and he gets like a bunch of people ready to help out because he's like prepping for this because they're gonna figure out how to treat this and what they can do with their tools and knowledge in this world, and set out. And then also the guy that we didn't really hear about until this episode, the murderer doctor himself, Camus, escapes from his confinement. Oh no! And he has a dark aura about him. Is he a magic user? Is he being possessed? We won't know. But that was episode 9 of 12, so shit's gonna hit the fucking fan. These were fine episodes. They move pretty quickly. The art, I don't know if I've talked about this. The art is pretty fucking great. There's not a lot of fighting in this show. There is fighting, and there will be more. But it is pretty laid back, compared to my Isekai Life, which we'll be talking about in a second, or what other ones? Other anime that I've been watching, like Black Summoner, is pretty much all action. So comparatively, not a lot of action in this one, but it is beautiful looking, and I like the idea that it is a overpowered main character isekai story who is also a doctor. It's not that he is, instead of being all powerful, he's a doctor. It's that he's also a doctor. And I think that is fun. It's just like, yeah, no, he's really strong and like, blessed by a god and super powerful and like is, not going to run into any problems defending himself and all that. But also, he wants to help people. He's a doctor. All right, so I have to look at the colors of this. This looks like that, so that's going to be dark gray, and that's black. Okay. Again, then one of the things that's nice is these pieces right here are not available in any other color, right? So it's, even though I couldn't really tell if this was dark gray or black. They're available in dark gray. They're not available in black. And also, dark gray. In dark gray, I don't have the 1x1s, solo ones, so I know that is black. So I know that has to be the color black, and that is very convenient. Even if I wish that these booklets were much more vibrant in color, because I do not have any issues with, I'm not colorblind at all. But it still does bother me sometimes. I do have trouble sometimes seeing, and I have extra lights happening here. I've got a light on me. I've got my lighting in here is really good for streaming. So sometimes when I'm knolling and I'm looking at this book, I end up turning my overhead lights on, my extra lights, just to see better. But I can't imagine for folks that have any kind of colorblind issues or color separating, isolating issues. That's got to be fucking very frustrating. Okay, so my Isekai Life. This is an informative episode. We are learning about what's going on here. So we knew that our guy got summoned. Our Yuji, the monster tamer, he got summoned to fight the calamities that were coming. That this was like destiny, that this was going to happen, and that he would be summoned. He doesn't necessarily believe that, but that is what we have come to believe, that he's here to help people and save the day, and yada, 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 do all that stuff. Now, we find out that the cult that we've been dealing with, the leader of the cult is a guy named Walter. That's right. Our main villain, the person who is in charge of this cult that is trying to have all these calamities take place, is a character named Walter. Walter's our bad guy. Now, Walter used to be is the leader of the Blue Moon cult, but he used to be a member of the Blue Moon Church. That's right. It used to be just like a regular, not terrible church. Insert witty joke about, it was a different kind of terrible. Ha ha ha. But anyway, our father Stell, the guy that has been helping us out and gave Yuji the dagger that he needed and information. He started this place to honor dead adventurers. The idea was that it was that was their thing. And Walter became the right hand man, but he really wanted to establish the church in his own image, which was to cleanse the world of, like, his thing was like, the best way to honor dead adventurers is to cleanse the world of sin and corruption by destroying the whole thing. So, you know, your usual, it's an anime, it's a plot in an anime. And he is like, he's convinced, so Stell is convinced that Yuji is the divine emissary. And Stell thinks, if I die, it will set in motion Yuji on the path to win, which is silly because Yuji is just going to win no matter what. He doesn't need to sacrifice himself for it. But also, we find out that the assistant to Stell this whole time has been a member of the cult, and Walter knows about Yuji and knows what's going on with Yuji. So Yuji has been operating kind of under the radar because people don't think that monster tamers are strong, but this guy apparently knows what's up, and apparently never tried to stop Yuji in the past, which seems weird. So yeah, we got a lot of setup here. This was episode, I forget if this is episode 9 or 10, but we are gearing up for some big confrontations with the cult and our boy Yuji and all of his wonderful slime friends, who are, I would just say, not gonna have a problem defeating humans. Now, if another calamity shows up, that's a different story. But if it's just these humans, they're good. And it's still very cute. Still very cute show. So now Yuji arrives at the end of the episode just in time to be like, oh, don't worry, I'm here. And so we'll get into some fights. Okay, so this goes here. This goes like this. This goes like that. And then some reason it goes there. This car is asymmetrical, and that throws me off. It's probably because it's a camper van, so like obviously the interior is not going to be asymmetrical, but usually when I'm building cars for on stream, the cars are asymmetrical. So when they are not, or the cars are symmetrical, I should say. So when they're asymmetrical, it's weird to me. But that's me talking about anime and manga. We have some time left in the stream. It's some people's favorite part of the stream. What are you playing right now? It's where I ask you, friends, what are you playing? What are you watching? I talked about AW. I watched so much wrestling this weekend. Some indie stuff, some Japanese wrestling, some which I don't really have a big opinion on what I saw. I did watch a Japanese show that it was one of their first times having audiences, because audiences can be there and also as long as they're socially distanced can make noise. So a lot of Japanese wrestling had crowds for the first time in a very long time and are fucking excited about that, which is great. But I did watch a show that had like a match that featured Maki Ito, and so I was like, fuck yeah, Maki rules. And then it had a concert, because one of the members of this concert group, this idol group, is involved in wrestling. And it was like 3 songs and then a bit with Maki and then like another song. And it was too much goddamn music happening. And I was like, nope, I don't need this. But I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching? What are you playing? What are you investigating? What are you like? What's on your agenda of games you're like, Pat, I just want to have the time to play this game, and I don't have it yet. I can't wait. Like, yeah, let me know. Again, reminder that tomorrow night I will be checking out a video game. I was a teenage exocolonist. That is a mouthful. I was a teenage ectocolonist. Is the video game that I will be checking out tomorrow. I received the code from it. So I will be checking that out because it looked neat. Usually I do video game streams on Wednesday. This time I'm doing it on a Tuesday because for this month I am trying to do Tuesday streams instead of Wednesday streams. I am testing that out to see how I like it. I think I'll like it very much. I need a 1x3. I need 2 1x3s. I gotta find my 1x3s in here. Sometimes it's hard to see these things. Well, I need a 2x3 as well. Let's see. Arctic Slaw says, I need to not be sad so I can play Narco and then be sad again. I totally understand, Arctic Slaw. Sometimes you gotta be in the right mindset to then have your mindset completely altered by a video game. I hear you and I understand what you're saying. I hope you get in the right mindset to then be bummed out later. Let's see. Aristovan says, I just came back from PAX West. Had a good time. Aristovan, I'm so glad that you had fun at PAX West. I did have FOMO. I didn't have a lot of FOMO because I was like, oh, I can watch these panels live. Oh, I can watch these later. Oh, okay, this is fine. For some reason, Jerry from Penny Arcade took a photo of the NYC Cafe, which is just a place to get snacks, but it has like a very iconic name of NYC Cafe, and for some reason that made me really nostalgic for PAX. Like that made me go like, aw, I want to eat at the NYC Cafe, a place that charges too much for sodas that are sometimes warm. But I still want to be there, and I want to be around PAX, so I did get a little FOMO because of that, oddly enough. Let's see. What else we got here? John finished off Soul Hackers 2 and Zeta Gundam. Not sure what to watch or play next. Well, okay. A double Zeta, I guess, is one thing that I could suggest. All right, so what do I need? I need... I got the 2 1x3s. I got the one other thing. I got this. I need to find one more of these. For some reason, I can't find one more of those. So let me dig around, and I will read and give my thoughts on. I watched Jurassic World Domination, which is about climate change. Lord Crashy did. That kind of doesn't surprise me. I mean, it does because it should be about fucking dinosaurs. One would assume that it would be about goddamn dinosaurs, but if it's also about climate change, sure. I mean, you know what? Sure. All right, I found the other piece that I need here. So I got all the pieces I need. Now I can put those back in. I watched Trigun Badlands Rumble today, which was fun but forgettable. Bummer they couldn't get most of the dub cast back, but at least they got Vash. Yeah, I mean it's hard, right? It's hard to get the English dub cast, like from things from the 90s. Difficult. I started watching Hathaway's Flash before this, but didn't finish. It's really interesting so far. Yeah, I like that a lot. I would recommend it. I think that is a good Gundam project. All right, so we finished this part up. So now I can add all these pieces in here. This goes here. Not a lot of arrows. There's some arrows on this thing, but not as much as I would like. We know that these will go here. Just building up our car frame. This doesn't look like a lot right now. We're still in the the early building stages here. This is step 29. So we're on our way. But it still doesn't necessarily look like anything yet. It will though. Okay, Solar Crashing says about Jurassic World Domination. It is about dinosaurs, but in scope, how fragile the ecosystem is. And how the bad tech company was trying to destroy the world instead of saving it. Okay. It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, of course. What did you think the tech company was trying to do? Sure. Inherently, if any company is making dinosaurs, I think that they should be looked at with scrutiny. But that's just because of hindsight. Because in my reality, I know what happens in the movie. All right, so that's going to do it for our stream tonight. We will finish this up. I'm going to take a photo now and just put my passcode in. You can't see that. Got to put my passcode in. All right, I'm going to take a photo. And then we're in a raid. You like the CEO of the tech company look like Tim Cook. Okay, that's good. I do like that. All right, let me get this photo going here. A lot of frame done on this. Um, so we are gonna raid. That is how we end every stream, is with a raid. We're gonna go find somebody out there on the internet streaming that we like. We often raid Mary Kish. I don't know if she's streaming because she might be at PAX still, so I don't know if she's out there doing her thing. But we often raid Mary Kish on Mondays because that's when Mary raids. But we're gonna definitely find somebody doing some good streaming this, and we'll hang out with them for a pretty low key Monday, but still good. Let's see what we got going on here. Mary is here. She's playing Tiny King, which I hear very good things about. So we're gonna go raid Mary because Mary is great. And again, and Mary was raising some money for Planned Parenthood. That's awesome. So we're gonna go raid Mary because Mary absolutely rules, and I want to know more about Tinykin because it seems neat. So thanks everybody for being here. Please come along on this raid. You'll enjoy it. You'll love Mary. You'll love her community. You'll have a good time on the stream because she's fantastic. And I'll see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for playing a video game. And then on Thursday for more Lego. So thanks so much for coming out. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.